and welcome to the Pastor's Podcast. Good to have you along with me this final day of the work week. Always good to have people with us, and certainly excited that you are here. And it's always good to have people along with us as we get on in the week and trying to see what God can do. I hope that you've had a wonderful week, had a good week. Of course, we're pushing towards Easter Sunday. I hope that you are doing the same. Wherever you are, let's work hard. Let's see what God can do. God's got some great things for us. I'm excited about this weekend. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to show up. I tell my staff, I said, I know what my numbers say, and I know what it seems like will show up, but I don't know. We've been out all week long, and I'm planning on going back out again today, get people in the church. I'll tell you right now, people are looking. Yesterday, just out with my daughter, doing a little bit of soul winning and canvassing, getting people into church. I can think of at least two stops where people said, we were trying to figure out what we're going to do this weekend. And I said, well, man, you need to come to church. And they plan on coming. They're going to ride our bus to the church. And I'm excited about that. Some are going to drive in. Ran into somebody yesterday that hasn't been in church a while. They've been out of town. I was able to get them committed to come with their whole family. And so we've got to be busy. Let's be busy. Let's be in church. Let's be in our place this Sunday, Easter Sunday. I hope that you're looking forward to that as well, and that God will do something mighty in all the churches around the world. Well, today, let's talk about Eschew Evil. In Job 1:1, it says about him, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. That man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God, and I like this phrase, and eschewed evil. Now, when God bragged on Job, there were four attributes that caught God's attention. Job was a man who was a perfect man. Perfect does not mean sinless. It means that he was balanced. He was mature. He had everything. Everything was what it's supposed to be. Then God noticed that Job was an upright man. In other words, he was honest in his dealings and what he said. God also noticed that Job feared God. So that got God's attention. Job's view of God caused him to fear God, which is likely why God so respected this man. But there is one characteristic of Job that ought to be mentioned and explained. I think sometimes we just kind of skip over. The fourth characteristic that caught God's attention was that he eschewed evil. This did not say that he eschewed sin, but that he eschewed, notice, evil. So there's a difference between sin and evil. Sin is doing wrong, but evil is a greater degree of sin. Evil is doing wrong with the intent to hurt someone. Job eschewed doing anything that would hurt others. Now, if eschewing evil was noticed by God, we must learn what it means to eschew. The word eschewed means to abstain from, to steer clear of, or to have nothing to do with something. God loved that Job did all in his power to avoid doing evil, hurting others, doing something that would cause others to be hurt. If eschewing evil is this great attribute that God likes, I would say that every believer ought to eschew evil. Now, let's share three ways to eschew evil. First, you should avoid being the source of evil. So, you should do everything in your power never to retaliate or respond in a manner that your intention is to hurt someone. Now, it does not matter what someone's done to you. You should abstain and steer clear of doing anything to someone with the intent to hurt them. Now, it doesn't matter if you have the goods on someone. You say, I got the goods on them. Yeah, but if you want to eschew evil to get God's favor on it, you should let those goods just kind of bury the goods. Stop trying to, listen to me, stop trying to set the record straight and trying to show everybody. Let God take care of that. That's God's area. You should never be the source that intends to hurt someone, no matter what they have done to you. Second, you will avoid being the carrier of evil when you eschew it. So there's a difference between being the source of evil and being the carrier of it. So being the carrier of evil means to spread what the source of evil did to someone. So I'd hate to think that my tongue is the vehicle that carries the gossip about others around. It doesn't matter if it is true. Your tongue should never be the vehicle that evil rides upon. I would hate to think, likewise, I'd hate to think that my fingers are the carrier of evil. You say, what are you talking about? I'm talking about carrying evil through the typing on social media and trying to spread the bad about somebody so you can hurt them. That's evil. God says now God doesn't like it when we do that. So it does not matter what the vehicle is that we use to carry this evil. It is evil to spread evil about others. Third, you will avoid being okay, if you're going to skew evil, you're going to avoid being the consumer of evil if you're going to skew it. So follow me carefully. So evil has no place to land if you avoid the vehicles that spread it. So there are many vehicles that spread evil, but when you eschew it, you avoid any platform or person who chooses to spread or do evil to you. Now, life is too short, my friend, to let evil be a part of your life. Whether you're doing it by spreading it, consuming it, or you're the one that just kind of that you say, I'm not going to be that one that's silent while it goes on, and you don't stand up for truth. Now, I'm saying this. I would much rather be the spreader of gospel, which is good, which will help people, than to be the spreader of evil, which destroys the gospel's power and destroys the ability, get this now, to be able to reach the lost. Many a person has tried to clean up our movement, and they spread evil all over the place. And what they do is they hurt the gospel, and they hurt people that say, I want nothing with it. I'm not talking about standing up for truth. We have to stand up for truth. God tells us to do that. He says contend for the faith. But I'm talking about you got the goods on someone and you're trying to get it out so everybody knows that. Listen to me. That is not my job to do. That is God's job. We are a generation who thinks that we need to take God's place and set the record straight with everybody, when that is not my job. My job is to try to reach people with the lost, spread the gospel. My job is to contend for the faith. Now, contending for the faith sometimes means as Paul talks about, you got to mark them, you got to call them out. I understand that, but you don't do it with the intent to hurt them. You do it with the intent. I'm not going to let the evil of compromise destroy doctrine. Now that's key. Now, let me tell you something. We've got to be careful in this generation. We have everything at our fingertips that we can we could destroy a lot of people. Let's not be that type of person. Let's be the person that says, I'm not going to be the spreader of evil. I'm not going to be the consumer of evil. I'm not going to type it. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm going to be the spreader of good. I was talking to someone the other day. They were talking to me if I knew about something. And I just told them, I said, be quite honest with you, a lot of people think I know a lot of things. I really don't. I stay in my world here, and I'm trying to reach my area for Jesus Christ. I don't need to know the evil about everything else going on with everyone else. I'm trying to reach my area. Let's get busy spreading the gospel. If you're busy spreading the gospel, you'll be too busy to spread evil. Well, I hope this is a help to you. And this weekend, hey, let's get out and spread the gospel to everybody, the good gospel that will help people. And then remember this weekend, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great weekend.